All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Dive into Real Estate Investing for Newbies podcast. I have a very special guest, good friend, Derek Clifford, who is CEO of Elevate Equity. Derek is a successful single and multifamily real estate investor. He has acquired 13 out-of-state units in his first year alone. He's also built his portfolio while working a full-time W-2 job, which I'm very interested in hearing. And Derek is also an author of the book Part-Time Real Estate Investing for Full-Time Professionals, where he demystifies real estate investment for those with moderate income and full-time jobs. So I just want to welcome you, Derek, and tell us what part of the country you're in and how you got started in this real estate business.
Absolutely. Well, Cecil, first, I just want to say it's an honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me on. My name is Derek Clifford. I'm a real estate investor. I invest out of state because the state that I reside in is California. I work and invest from my home base out here in the East Bay of California. So kind of the San Francisco Bay Area, but a little bit out east, maybe a good 30, 40 miles outside.
Okay. So you're actually doing this virtually.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit how you got started. Were you, cause you pretty much your primary, you're in apartment syndication. So is that your primary? Do you have any single family or is all multifamily unit?
Yeah. So, I actually, I've mentioned this many, many times about how I got started, and a lot of it is in the book, but generally, just to give you a quick synopsis, I got started completely by accident in buy and hold real estate. My wife bought a condo about 1 month before the crash in 2008. She lived in it for about 4 years at grad school up in Washington State. And then, but when it was time for her to leave and get her residency, come down to the Bay Area, we were still underwater on the property by quite a bit. So we had to figure out something because we couldn't write that check, to get rid of the property because it was so far underwater. So what we decided to do is we decided to put some grad students in there and rent it out. And as we were making the drive down to California from our home base in Washington State at the time, we were thinking, man, why don't we try doing this on purpose, right? Because here we are collecting that quote unquote mailbox money. We're getting enough income to come in to cover all of our expenses and our mortgage. So we're like, let's try doing this on purpose. And that kind of led me into a journey of studying like nonstop on Bigger Pockets and a bunch of other resources online for about a year, year or two, actually, I would say. And also going to meetups and talking with a bunch of folks in the area where I was, who were investing out of state, and just doing my own little study, doing case study analysis and just talking with other people, and eventually landed on Indianapolis and just started growing my portfolio out there. And in the past 3 years, I started in 2017, really taking it seriously in Indianapolis. I've grown to about 13 properties. Actually, most of them I got in the first 9 months. I started pulling the trigger on stuff. And then in October of 2018, I ended up purchasing an 18-unit multiplex also in Indianapolis. And then from there, it's just been kind of growth all the while. And now I'm working on a 60-unit right now.
So hold up. So all this started from your wife's condo, you doing research, figuring out how to manage this property out of state. Was that kind of what triggered?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was one part of it, because like we started looking at how to manage it, but then I also realized that like, hey, we were making money on top of the mortgage and all the bills that we had to pay. And so it got me thinking like, well, how can I invest in this on purpose so that like I can, because we weren't really doing anything to collect that income. We were just making sure that the tenants were paying on time, the property was well maintained. We were paying the taxes, the insurance, all that good stuff, right? So the way we looked at it was, how do we build up our income so that we're making more without actually working? And that was, we looked at rental property as like a way to do that. And so I just started to hit the books really, really hard, because we had that case study, or that example, that accidental example of the proof of concept of it working already, And so now we wanted to see if we could get something on purpose and do it with more intention.